Yo, Dyme Magazine, here we are once again. Just, come on, take a look. Take a look.
Music.
Legends, icons, doing it big, man. Doing it big. It's your boy Lenny representing Dyme Magazine, man. You got AKA William Bunny Jefferson, AKA The GOAT, Part 1. Part 2, Hector motherfucking Negron. Understand what's going on. We're gonna get to know these guys, man, and listen, they got a story to tell, and y'all need to hear it. You're talking about two GOATs, Boston, Massachusetts, New England, national legends. Man, how y'all doing, man? What's up?
Blessed to be here, man. Just blessed to be here, man.
Yo, you know, it's an honor, man. It's an honor to see you because, you know, it's a long time coming. It's been a long time coming because you are a pinnacle, okay, of what, not just sports, but the lives that you touch. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, what I want to do is I want to go back a little bit and talk about your humble beginnings. You know what I mean? Like, what made you want to get into sports? Like, just out of everything you could have did, why sports?
That was pretty much, man, my dad, man. You know, my dad was he's a baseball player. Took me to the baseball field every game, every practice. So, you know, I would play baseball, but then there's always a court at the baseball field. So I would kind of venture over there, not really knowing what I'm doing, just, you know, shoot around with dudes. But my passion was always baseball. You know what I mean? Well,
now, like, you being into baseball, right, and you obviously excelling, you know, you're doing your thing. Like, what made you want to get into, you know, multiple sports? Or did you just say, you know what, I'm good at baseball, or was you influenced to play another sport, or?
Well, basketball was kind of like my ticket, man. You know, like freshman year in high school, I was playing baseball. Burke was never known to have a good baseball team. Back in the day, it was, you know, if you didn't go to English or, you know, Madison or Charlestown, like those were kind of like the powerhouses that had the baseball team. So I had a conversation with the basketball coach at the time, which was Mr. Logan, and just asked him, like, yo, do you think I can get a scholarship, you know, playing basketball? And his first words were, if you work twice as hard in the classroom that you do, you know, on the basketball court or the field, that wouldn't be an issue.
So
academics.
So now I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, when we growing up, education really wasn't a thing to put you over as far as it meaning anything, you know, when it came to playing sports. So, like, did you feel like you had it, like playing basketball, playing baseball, and also football, you know, did that help you to, like, stay on your grades on that level? Or do you feel like it was just a thing to say, you know what, I'll worry about my grades later. I'm killing it in the sports?
Nah, sports was definitely that carrot, you know. That was that thing that, again, it's one of them things, like, if I wasn't playing, I felt like I wasn't breathing. So I had to make sure I tried to stay on top. You know, I always had somebody that was on my back. You know, my wife now, who was my girlfriend back in high school, you know, owe her a lot of credit to that because, again, wouldn't let me slack. You know, made sure that, you know, just because maybe some of my teachers kind of like let me slide, that wasn't going to benefit me in the future. You know, so making sure that I try to stay on top of things.
Well, see, I'm glad you said that because even being young, you know, we're talking, you know, years, you know, we're all young. So with you being at that age, like, you had a lot of influence, positive influence around you. You know what I mean? And obviously, this guy right here, you know what I'm saying? And you spoke of your wife, you know, like when you talk about your wife, you speak highly of her and you always speak highly of her. Like, what positions do you feel like having your wife in your corner like that? You know what I mean? Like, cause that's a whole different area, being around your boys, being around your cousins or any type of male figure. But you're talking about a strong woman figure at that time. saying, yo, babe, come on, no, pause, but, girl, come on, let's go, let's roll, you know what I mean? And really have your back. Like, how does that make you feel?
It felt good, man, because the one thing with her is that I never had to change who I was. You know what I mean? Like, some dudes act different when they around their boys, and then they want to be different when they with their girls, and then it clashes when you're together. Everybody who knew me knew her. You know what I mean? They knew, and she's always been a part of it, but at the same time, she knew what basketball was to me. And she knew that was the drive, and she drove me also. Like, I mean, she was probably harder on me than I was on myself at times, so.
See, that's big.
Yeah, I mean, that, again, you got to have those people that you trust in your corner. So I had amazing coaching, throughout my whole career, but you always got to have them people on the outside that can push you too.
Coaching you on the outside, that's big, And so now, you're doing your thing, right? You're finally at the Burke. You're killing the game, right? And then you run into this guy, because you're older than him. So, let's talk about the timeline. Like, how was it, playing for the Burke before Bunny got there?
Well, playing for the Burke, again, I had some older guys, so for me it was kind of like learning the game, and my coach Logan back then, like I said, he started from scratch, the basic fundamentals, but some of the older guys, again, we had dogs at the Burke, you know what I mean? So you couldn't get on the court and be soft. You weren't going to get any playing time, practice time, you were going to get just your ass bust, but you learned something. So you had two options. You either learn from it, get tough, and come back the next day and try to go hard at them, or you fold it up and you just say, this ain't my sport. You know what I mean? But for me, the luxury I had was that them same dudes, man, were the same dudes that went up on the MAG, on Magnolia and Interville. But that's where me and him really started out. We was up there every summer, like even before we got to high school. Like, I mean, it was just the whole nine. From 9 in the morning to like 12 at night. You know what I mean? Shoveling snow, playing with gloves. You know what I mean? Like, dudes now got too many excuses. There's more gyms than we had available, but right now there's more excuses. But to us, it was just like, yo, like, this is what we love to do. And the one thing with him, he would always, anytime we played and we weren't on the same team, he's like, oh, Magic and Bird. But it was always that shit where we're pushing each other. We gonna bust. Yo, I love you, but I'm trying to bust your ass. You know what I mean? And that's all it was, man. But again, like, we had the older guys, so we didn't want to play like the lower level of the softball. Because when we got to high school, man, I'm getting my ass beat by old dudes. When I play high school dudes, you can't do nothing with me. You know what I mean? I mean, we had amazing talent in the city of Boston. And
big time.
That's when you saw the real levels. You know what I mean? The dudes that thought they had game, they got faded away because, again, you're not that dude.
Now, I'm glad you said that because, now you being at the Burke, you're doing your thing, he comes along. Like, did that, out of everyone that you just mentioned that you were playing with before he got there, like, did you see a different energy or a different thing to say, man, I wish he was here just a year early?
Hell yeah. I mean, this is one of the dudes, like, I play with a lot of dudes, right? This is one of the dudes that I knew, once I gave it to him at half court, I ain't had to worry about it. I didn't second doubt, no questions. Like, I know he's going to go attack. So for me, it was like another dude on the court or another guy, a brother that was thinking the same as I was. I'm trying to kill you, man. I don't care who it is, man. I got the ball in front of me. I'm just trying to get at you.
That's big.
So to have that type of a dude, and again, like he always says, I'm not a basketball player, but that killer, he's a freak. He's an athlete, bro. So you can put him in any sport, he's gonna excel. Just give him a little time to pick up the basics, he's gonna excel, man.
So do you feel like, playing with Bunny, like it made your job that much easier?
Hell yeah, man. Again,
he said that with conviction.
Like, I got dudes that know that I could throw it up to the basket anytime and he gonna go get it. So you can't really cheat off of him. You can really come double team me. So I can have a little fun on a one-on-one. So again, we had dudes on the team, and like we had a team. We did some work, but we had teams, man. Like I said, Logan had a system. We knew what we were doing. Dudes were smart ball players, but again, we wanted to win. We wanted to be better.
Man, that's huge, man. And now taking it to you, you get to the Burke. Well, we're gonna take your humble beginnings. Like, what made you want to get into, playing sports with you growing up, to where like you getting up with him, but in the beginning, what made you want to get into sports?
Well, I think basically I play sports because that's what we all did around our way. Like, like you said, you got the old school dudes, they're playing, and then, we're trying to get on the court. Like, there's a lot of times some dudes couldn't even get on the court. So we had to be like, somebody had to be like exactly exhausted. Somebody had to get injured to get on the court because we got all the big dudes around there. But this is, okay, I have one thing I say to myself a lot of times, and I didn't realize this until much later in my career. Mm-hmm. Me and Hector, we actually went to the same junior high school. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine the chemistry that we would have had once we got to high school if we actually played together at the Wilson?
Y'all, honestly, like I can imagine it because I already saw a lot of you guys when y'all was so young and getting it, like you said, starting even earlier than that. No worries, man. Oh my God.
I just think, like, listen, I can't even hold this in anymore. I want to get my point across. Hector Negron, he was Jordan. I was Pippen. I'm praying in my heart that the Jeremiah E. Burke High School do the right thing and retire Hector's jersey. I've been preaching this on Facebook. I've been preaching for years.
That would be huge.
Absolutely, 100% the GOAT of Burke basketball because he took us to that next level. Yeah. We had great teams. We respect the old school and the players that were there, but no one was. Listen, you watch his high five. We just watched it. He says no player has ever stepped foot at the Boston Garden, and the reason why that happened is because of Hector. And now you get the next class coming in. They're like, yo, Hector and Bunny, they went to the Garden. Yeah. Now, when we were thinking, I mean, he was probably thinking championship. I'm thinking like, shit, I just want to get to the same court Jordan was on. You know what I mean? We trying to get to the Garden, so we not thinking like there's another game. Right. Fast forward it, right? Now you got the Burke group. They go to the Garden, right? I don't know if they had the championship there, but the whole point is they took the school to the next level. So everything's about levels. Right. And the reason why the Burke was so successful in the 90s, when we were in school, is because of Hector. Hector's the GOAT. You can't. I'm tired of saying it. Like, retire his jersey. I'm tired.
Yo, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because, let's just be open and honest. Like, did you ever have like a thought in your mind at any point to be like, yo, I wonder, like, would I ever have my number retired? Like, have that ever crossed your mind, or was it,
To be honest, like, we've had conversations, but I've never really, like I said, man, what people say, I don't see it the way they see it.
I do. That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's always been my thing. Like, and again, my wife always tells me, like, Mr. Boo Rice is one of the ones that's always been, a big advocate about, where I could have been, But to me, I think basketball took me where I needed to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was the road that I was going to take. I had a great career in Puerto Rico, man. I would never change that.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. Obviously, you played in Puerto Rico for, 9 years? Yeah, you want to elaborate on that a bit?
So my senior year in high school, I got an opportunity, went and tried out for one team. Didn't really like the situation, but got another opportunity to play in a bigger city. My first 2 years with that team, we won back-to-back championships, which was a huge experience.
Ice championships, baby. Hector.
Like, I mean, but again, man, people hear about these leagues and they don't think these are competitive leagues. If you look at the league that I played in now, like, one of our boys, one of our killers, Shabazz Napier, is playing in that league.
Oh yeah, shout out to Shabazz, man.
He's playing in the BSN, which is the Baloncesto Nacional. So again, like, and a lot of NBA players go over there for the summer. Yeah. Because again, it's very competitive. You're gonna get challenged every night, man. And like, for me, that was like one of them experiences that, like, I realized, like, yo, like B said, there's levels to this. Yeah. My first tryout, my center blocked the shit out of my shot and threw me into the damn bleachers, and next thing I know, he's just running down court. You ain't helping me up. I see how this is. So again, this is, I'm coming from a situation where everybody's like, yo, you nice, but you get here, you got to earn yours.
Yeah.
So it took me a little bit.
It helped you to grow. Like it took what you were where you already was, took you to the next level.
Definitely, man. And again, you get another piece of humble pie, but then you get hungry and you start to recognize like, yo, there's dudes that are really good. Like the dude that I was, coming off the bench for played against Jordan in Barcelona. So he was on the Puerto Rican national team. So when he got back, I'm like, now this is another level. I'm gonna learn from this dude. That's my brother. You know what I mean? Like we still kick it, we still talk. Like, and I'm proud of his accomplishments. He retired a little while ago. He got his jersey, retired in Boyne, in Puerto Rico. So again, man, for me to be blessed with everybody I've crossed paths with, man, even the dudes, all you guys in this space right now, like, I've taken from everybody. You can call me a basketball thief, but I've taken a little from everybody because, again, you can't be so fucking, excuse my language, you can't
be you.
And think that you're better than somebody who's had experience.
Right.
You got to be able to listen.
Well, see, I'm glad you said that because, one thing I've learned growing up, especially in sports, is that, sports teaches you the game of life, inside and outside the lines. Like, do you guys ever feel like sports was also a teacher to where you would learn valuable lessons off the court?
I would probably have to say yes, because first and foremost, I'll give you an example. If you play basketball, well, I don't know. I would probably say basketball is a game where you can actually have one player can elevate you and win a championship if he gets that hot. But normally it's a team, orientated game where you have someone got to be able to pass, someone got to set the screen, someone got to block the shot. So it teaches you to work together. And
teamwork.
Right. So teamwork. And a lot of people don't know, if most kids, if you play sports, that's going to take you a long way in the work field, because you're more if you play team sports, you're more successful. You're going to be more likely to be successful at a job because it teaches you to work with people.
I agree. I totally agree. And obviously you feel the same way because you just dropped some serious knowledge even about teamwork, but you had to learn that humble lesson when you got pushed into the stands, and it didn't help you up. Not that he didn't want to, he just had to help you get to that next level. Like, that's deep. Now, speaking of that, now fast forward, you both being honored to where you've gone through the experiences. Now it's time to get y'all's flowers. Like, how does it feel? You guys are getting honored. You're like, that. There's no duo better than y'all. Do you know that this is a fact? You guys are the only duo ever, at least in New England, that's ever excelled together in two different sports. Ain't that crazy? Like, let's be honest. There's no one in history ever that's ever done that. In any history, no matter what. Like, how does that make you feel? Y'all feel?
Me, it feels good, man. Like I said, being on the court with him, man, it was fun. You know what I mean? It made it easier.
Yeah.
But like I said, baseball was my first passion. I had an opportunity. I turned down an opportunity which, nobody really knows about, but
I do.
What man?
Nah, we gonna listen. I think it was the Yankees. Am I right? Okay, I know. Listen, I know it's one of them. Red Sox or the Yankees. Listen, Hector's really humble. I'm the cocky one. I'm the arrogant one.
But you humble too.
I can't be humble.
He's mad humble.
I can't be humble, but Hector was good in baseball. Hector was good. Well, he was great in basketball. And a lot of people noticed, he was good in football. So
that's triple threat.
Yeah, that's three sports, dude. This dude's a legend.
Like, how did you conjure up all that energy, man? Like, one sport for me was enough.
It was just fun, man.
Yeah.
To be honest, man, like I said, dudes now, and even there was some dudes back then that didn't like running. I'm like, yo, how you complain about running when that's what we doing on the football field, on the court? Or, there were certain things that I just didn't understand. Or dudes get frustrated over, and that's how you feel. I know what motivates me. You don't want to do the work, I put in the work.
Man. See, that's what it is, man. And, my last question to you guys, because we have to get ready to head out of here and head to their honors, man, up at the Jeremiah E. Burke, and my last question to you guys is, what message do you guys want to have, to give to the public, our global viewers, everyone who tunes in to Dyme Magazine that's seeing you guys, what message can you give to them, especially the young ones coming up that want to follow in you guys' shoes? Because honestly, you guys just aren't sports players anymore. You guys are icons. That means so much. So what can you share with our listeners and viewers if you had to give any advice?
I would say if it's about sportsmen and you want to get better, you got to be willing to listen. You know what I mean? And put in the work, not just when you are with your coaches and with your team, but you got to take that extra time away and put in that work. Because when, the one thing I was always told is when you're not in the gym, somebody else is in the gym ready to bust your ass. So if you're not putting in that work, man, somebody else is, and you will be exposed. I didn't like being exposed, man. So to me it was, and I'm not saying I didn't, there was dudes again in the city that bust my ass too, but it's part of the game. If you don't have people that, this I always saw it, right? If you don't have people bust your ass, that means you ain't playing D. Right? So you're gonna cross me up, all right, cool, but I'm gonna give you something too. So for me it was just, be humble, be willing to put in the work, but at the same time, know your limitations.
And you?
I don't know. I think that if I can give anyone any advice, it'll just be to I talked to my son about being a leader. You know what I mean? Like me and Hector, we've been in this role of being leaders. He led when I was there. When he left, I had to lead. And I think the one thing that I would say to the new generation is learn how to listen, because a lot of times you have a guy like Hector. He played in the Boston shootouts. He's played in Puerto Rico. He's traveled the country.
He has a long catalog.
Listen, he
quality catalog.
A big catalog. He's the GOAT, Lenny. So long story short, he has GOAT. 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 Negron's the GOAT. There's no question. Matter of fact, listen. Let me get busy. Listen. There's no question about it. The man next to me is the greatest basketball player in the history of the Burke. Now, we can all have our GOATs. You can put the errors and you can do what you want to do, but I'm telling you right now, he's the GOAT. The same way I tell you, Lenny, I'm the GOAT. Man, I don't even know what to say.
Yo, I ain't never sat next to two GOATs before. This is crazy. Oh my God, I feel so special, man. And honestly, before we go, you got to show the ring, because honestly, that ring that you have right here, listen, that's Hall of Fame. Okay, that's Hall of Fame. That's major. All right, that's major. And he got it. He earned it. Another GOAT. GOAT number 2.
I'm a football head. He's a basketball head.
Yo, he's a freak of nature. This dude's a freak of nature, man. That's what he is, all right?
I love basketball, but I'm the football head.
You know what's crazy? He calls him a freak of nature, but they both are freak of natures. That's serious. You both are freak of natures.
Negron, he comes down, he do this shimmy Mark Jack, and he throw it up the glass, and I'm coming by, I'm just punching. That's what we did, man. We played together. Listen, I love Hector to death. Yeah. I'm gonna go to my grave, whether it's I hope it's not forced. I'm gonna go to my grave telling he's a GOAT. Period.
Man, listen, it's an honor to sit here and talk to you guys, man, and vibe. And we got to get out of here, but definitely gonna talk more later. But right now, they got to hit that stage. They got to do their thing, because that limelight's gleaming on them, man. They got to get that blessing that God's telling them to go get. So we out of here. We with your boy Bunny. We with your boy Hector Negron, 2 of the world's best GOATs of all time. Understand that, man. And this is what we do. Dyme Magazine, man. We out of here. Peace.